The massive research vessel Horizon Prime hung silently against the backdrop of the Kepler-279 star system, its gleaming silver hull reflecting the distant starlight. Inside the main research chamber, Dr. Michael Roberts adjusted his scanning equipment, his fingers moving with practiced precision across the holographic interface. "Incoming data stream," announced the ship's AI in a calm, neutral voice. "Anomalous archaeological signatures detected on the third planetary debris field." Roberts looked up, his eyes narrowing with professional curiosity. The debris field had been a mystery for weeks, an apparently random collection of scattered spacecraft remnants that didn't conform to any known alien technological design. The holographic display flickered to life, revealing a complex network of ship fragments. What made these vessels unique was their strange hybrid appearance, part ancient technology, part something entirely unrecognizable. Some sections looked almost primitive, with rough welded metal panels and what seemed like outdated propulsion systems. Other fragments suggested advanced engineering that was millennia ahead of current technological understanding. "Professor Karen," Roberts called to his lead researcher, "you need to see this." Professor Elena Karen walked over, her long research coat swishing against the metallic floor. She had been in deep space archaeology for over 2 decades, but nothing in her extensive career had prepared her for what she was about to witness. The initial scans revealed something extraordinary. These weren't just random spacecraft remains. They were a fleet, meticulously arranged, even in their apparent destruction. Each vessel, despite looking old and worn, showed signs of incredible structural integrity. Metal that should have degraded centuries ago remained almost pristine, with minimal radiation damage. "This doesn't make sense," Karen muttered, zooming into a particular section of a damaged vessel. "The metallurgical composition is impossible." The ship's junior technicians began whispering among themselves. Some laughed, suggesting these were probably relics from some primitive civilization that never advanced beyond basic space exploration. Others were more cautious, sensing something unique about these vessels. Roberts began running detailed spectral analysis. Each scan revealed layers of complexity that contradicted the initial visual assessment. The ship's outer hull looked rough and outdated, but internal systems suggested technologies that were decades, if not centuries, ahead of current galactic standards. "We're detecting multiple encryption layers," the AI reported. "Computational complexity suggests an advanced algorithmic structure." As hours passed, the research team's initial mockery transformed into genuine scientific fascination. What they had assumed was a collection of ancient, useless spacecraft was proving to be something far more intriguing. Professor Karen pulled up a comprehensive holographic model, rotating the fleet's configuration. Something about the arrangement felt deliberate, not random, not accidental. Each vessel seemed positioned with mathematical precision, as if part of a larger, more complex design. "These aren't just ships," she said softly, more to herself than to her colleagues. "This is something else entirely." The junior researchers leaned closer, their earlier jokes replaced by a growing sense of wonder. The fleet's mysterious nature was slowly revealing itself, layer by layer, challenging everything they thought they knew about ancient spacefaring civilizations. Robert zoomed into a particularly interesting fragment. Hidden beneath what looked like a corroded metal panel was a series of intricate circuit patterns. The design was so advanced that it seemed to blur the line between mechanical engineering and something almost organic. Who could have built these? He wondered aloud. Little did they know, they were about to uncover a story that would reshape their understanding of technological history. The fleet before them carried secrets that would challenge the very foundations of their scientific knowledge, a testament to a civilization that had mastered the art of technological camouflage. As the Horizon Prime continued its careful examination, the ancient fleet remained silent, holding its mysteries close, waiting to be understood. The research chamber buzzed with nervous energy as Dr. Roberts initiated the complex decryption sequence. Advanced quantum decoding algorithms hummed against the ship's computational systems, slowly peeling back layers of an encryption so sophisticated that it seemed almost alive. Initiating primary decryption protocol, announced the ship's AI, its voice steady and clinical. Hours passed. The initial encryption layers resembled nothing the research team had ever encountered. Complex mathematical patterns danced across holographic displays, creating intricate geometric designs that seemed to shift and transform with each computational attempt. Professor Karen watched intently, her fingers drumming a subtle rhythm against her data tablet. She had seen complex encryptions before, but this was different. These data layers weren't just protected. They seemed deliberately constructed to challenge any attempt at unauthorized access. Suddenly, the first breakthrough came. A fragment of data burst through. A series of coordinates, timestamp fragments, and what appeared to be technological schematics. The initial reveal was tantalizing but incomplete, like finding a single page from a massive historical manuscript. "We've got something," Roberts declared, zooming into the newly revealed data cluster. The fragment revealed an extraordinary detail. These ships were not merely ancient relics. They were deliberate constructions, engineered with a level of strategic complexity that defied conventional understanding. The junior researchers gathered around, their earlier skepticism replaced by genuine scientific curiosity. What they were witnessing was not just an archaeological discovery, but potentially a paradigm-shifting revelation about technological history. More data streamed in. Fragmented logs, partial system recordings, and cryptic reference points began to form a broader narrative. The ships were part of a massive coordinated fleet, but not from any known alien civilization. "These design signatures," Karen muttered, analyzing the technological blueprints, "they're unmistakably human." The revelation sent a collective shockwave through the research team. Humans, building a fleet of such sophisticated, deliberately disguised spacecraft in an era long before their known technological capabilities. The decryption continued, revealing increasingly complex layers. Each breakthrough challenged their existing understanding of human technological evolution. The ships weren't just advanced. They were masterpieces of strategic engineering. Embedded within the data were hints of a massive, potentially existential conflict. References to multiple aggressive alien civilizations, strategic defensive protocols, and technologies designed to appear deliberately primitive began to emerge. "This changes everything," Roberts whispered, more to himself than to his colleagues. The AI continued its methodical decryption, revealing fragments of tactical logs, system diagnostics, and what seemed like mission parameters. Each new piece of information added another layer to an already complex puzzle. A particularly intriguing section revealed the core philosophy behind the fleet's design: absolute technological camouflage. These ships were intentionally constructed to look outdated, to appear weak and non-threatening. Their true capabilities were hidden beneath layers of deliberate technological misdirection. Professor Karen's eyes widened as she processed the implications. This wasn't just a fleet. It was a strategic masterpiece, a technological trap designed to lull potential enemies into a false sense of security. The research team worked through the night, each hour bringing new revelations. The ships carried advanced quantum communication systems, regenerative hull technologies, and AI-driven tactical algorithms that were generations ahead of their apparent age. As dawn approached on the research vessel, the team realized they were standing at the precipice of a discovery that would rewrite technological history. These weren't just ships. They were a testament to human ingenuity, a hidden arsenal that challenged everything known about interstellar strategy. "We've only scratched the surface," Roberts said, his voice a mixture of excitement and profound respect. The ancient fleet continued to reveal its secrets, one decrypted fragment at a time, promising a story that would shake the foundations of scientific understanding across the galaxy. The research chamber transformed into a holographic theater, projecting a detailed historical reconstruction based on the newly decrypted data. Dr. Roberts manipulated the projection, revealing a timeline that would challenge everything known about human interstellar history. The narrative began in the mid-22nd century, a period of unprecedented cosmic tension. Humanity, having finally established its first stable extrasolar colonies, found itself surrounded by multiple aggressive alien civilizations. These weren't simple territorial disputes. They were existential threats that pushed human survival to its absolute limits. The holographic display showed a complex galactic map. Alien civilizations, represented by pulsing red markers, surrounded human territories like predators circling vulnerable prey. Each civilization possessed technological capabilities that dwarfed human military power at the time. They called it the Survival Protocol. The AI narrated, its voice devoid of emotion, but laden with historical significance. The first wave of alien encounters had been catastrophic. Human colonies were systematically targeted, with entire settlements wiped out within hours of first contact. Traditional military strategies proved ineffective against technologically superior opponents who could neutralize human defenses with surgical precision. But humans did what they had always done best. They adapted. The fleet now being studied was the result of a top-secret project initiated by a coalition of surviving human governments and military strategists. Instead of attempting to match alien technological superiority directly, they chose a different approach: strategic deception. Projected schematics revealed the core philosophy. Each ship was deliberately designed to look outdated, with external structures that mimicked primitive technological designs. Underneath this camouflage lay revolutionary technologies that were decades, if not centuries, ahead of their time. Disguise became our greatest weapon. One recovered log entry read. The ships incorporated multiple layers of technological misdirection. Quantum stealth systems could make vessels appear as nothing more than space debris. Regenerative hull materials could repair damage almost instantaneously, while looking like crude, damaged metal from external scans. Propulsion systems were particularly ingenious. What appeared to be inefficient chemical thrusters were actually advanced quantum displacement drives, capable of near instantaneous positional changes. Weapon systems looked like rudimentary laser cannons, but contained devastating molecular disruption technology. The most shocking revelation was the fleet's true purpose. These weren't just defensive vessels. They were a calculated deterrent. By appearing weak, humans could draw aggressive civilizations into a false sense of security, then unleash technological capabilities that would devastate entire star systems. Professor Kirin watched the reconstruction, her scientific skepticism gradually transforming into profound respect. They weren't just building ships, she muttered. They were creating a strategic nightmare for any potential aggressor. The historical logs revealed the psychological warfare behind the design. By consistently appearing technologically inferior, humans could manipulate alien perceptions. Enemy civilizations would underestimate, mock, and ultimately dismiss human capabilities, right up until the moment of total strategic defeat. Embedded within the data were personal logs from the project's lead engineers and strategic planners. These weren't just technical documents, but passionate testimonies of a species fighting for its very survival. One particularly poignant log entry stood out: "We don't need to be the strongest. We just need to be the most unpredictable." The fleet represented more than a military strategy. It was a philosophical statement about human resilience, adaptability, and the capacity to turn perceived weakness into an unprecedented strength. As the holographic reconstruction concluded, the research team sat in stunned silence. What they had discovered was more than an archaeological curiosity. It was a profound testament to human ingenuity, a hidden chapter of interstellar history that had remained secret for generations. "We found something extraordinary," Dr. Roberts said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. The ancient fleet continued to hold its secrets, a silent guardian of a remarkable human story waiting to be fully understood. The analysis chamber of the Horizon Prime transformed into a high-tech forensic laboratory. Dr. Roberts and his team began a millimeter-by-millimeter examination of the fleet's most intriguing technological components, each discovery more mind-blowing than the last. The first breakthrough came with the ship's communication systems. What initially looked like primitive radio transmission equipment was actually a quantum entanglement communication network so advanced that it defied current scientific understanding. These systems could transmit information instantaneously across vast cosmic distances, making traditional communication technologies seem like ancient smoke signals. "This is impossible," Professor Karen muttered, her hands trembling as she examined the circuit designs. The hull materials presented another stunning revelation. What appeared to be simple metal panels were actually complex molecular structures capable of self-repair and adaptive camouflage. Microscopic nanomachines embedded within the hull could instantly reconfigure molecular structures, healing damage and changing material properties in milliseconds. One junior researcher discovered something even more extraordinary: the ship's power systems. The energy generation technology was not just efficient, it was revolutionary. Small reactor cores could generate power equivalent to entire solar system energy networks, all while appearing no more complex than a standard industrial generator. "Look at this," Roberts called out, pointing to a specific circuit board. The board contained an AI system so sophisticated that it blurred the line between artificial intelligence and sentient consciousness. Unlike modern AI systems that required massive computational networks, these embedded intelligences could operate with minimal energy consumption, making autonomous decisions with near-perfect precision. Weapon systems proved equally impressive. What looked like simple laser cannons were actually molecular disruption devices capable of dismantling entire planetary structures at an atomic level. The targeting systems could predict enemy movements with such accuracy that they seemed to operate on predictive quantum principles. The propulsion technology was perhaps the most mind-blowing discovery. The engines appeared crude and inefficient from external scans, but internal analysis revealed quantum displacement drives that could manipulate space-time itself. A single engine could potentially move an entire fleet across galactic distances in moments. They didn't just build ships, Professor Karen explained to her stunned team. They created mobile strategic platforms that could literally reshape cosmic warfare. Defensive capabilities were equally remarkable. Multi-layered energy shields could absorb and redirect astronomical levels of destructive energy. Stealth technologies could make entire ships invisible not just to visual scanning, but to every known form of electromagnetic and quantum detection. The team worked meticulously, each hour bringing new revelations. The ships weren't just technological marvels, they were living proof of human innovation under extreme pressure. Computational systems integrated throughout the fleet showed something even more profound. These weren't just military vessels, but mobile research platforms. Every system was designed to collect, analyze, and adapt to new information in real time. The entire fleet was essentially a massive distributed intelligence network. "This changes everything we know about technological development," Roberts declared, his voice a mixture of scientific excitement and profound respect. The most shocking discovery came near the end of their analysis. Hidden deep within the ship's core systems was a fail-safe mechanism, a self-preservation protocol that could transform the entire fleet into an autonomous defensive network if human civilization faced total extinction. As night fell on the research vessel, the team realized they were looking at more than just ancient technology. They were witnessing a testament to human resilience, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of survival. The ancient fleet continued to whisper its secrets, each technological marvel telling a story of a humanity that refused to be conquered, that turned potential defeat into an opportunity for unprecedented innovation. "We've found something extraordinary," Professor Karen said, her eyes reflecting the holographic displays of technological wonders. The universe, it seemed, was about to learn that humans were far more than anyone had ever imagined. The research team's discovery began to ripple through scientific circles across multiple alien civilizations. What had started as a simple archaeological expedition was rapidly transforming into a watershed moment of cosmic understanding. Dr. Roberts carefully reconstructed the strategic blueprint of the ancient human fleet. Each vessel wasn't just a weapon. It was a carefully designed piece of a much larger defensive puzzle. The entire fleet represented a multi-layered strategic system that could adapt, respond, and counter potential threats with unprecedented sophistication. They planned for everything, Professor Karen explained, her fingers tracing holographic battle simulations. The defensive strategy revealed a level of tactical genius that defied conventional military thinking. Humans had essentially created a living, breathing defensive network that could reconfigure itself instantaneously based on emerging threats. Each ship carried embedded intelligence that could communicate and coordinate with other vessels faster than any known alien communication system. Tactical logs showed multiple scenario planning. The fleet was designed to handle not just one type of alien threat, but a complex multi-civilization conflict. Adaptive algorithms could instantaneously analyze enemy technologies, develop counter-strategies, and implement defensive protocols within milliseconds. What made the strategy truly remarkable was its psychological component. By appearing technologically inferior, these ships could draw potential aggressors into a false sense of security. Enemy civilizations would approach, believing they were facing a weak, primitive human defense network, only to be utterly destroyed by technologies beyond their comprehension. The AI system embedded in the fleet was particularly fascinating. It wasn't just a computational tool, but a strategic intelligence that could predict potential conflict scenarios with near-perfect accuracy. Multiple layers of predictive algorithms allowed the fleet to essentially think several moves ahead of any potential aggressor. Defensive capabilities went far beyond traditional weapon systems. Each ship could generate localized energy fields that could neutralize incoming attacks, redirect destructive energy, and even temporarily manipulate local space-time conditions to avoid direct confrontation. They didn't just want to fight, Roberts noted. They wanted to make fighting impossible. The most ingenious aspect was the fleet's modular design. Ships could rapidly reconfigure themselves, combining defensive capabilities, sharing computational resources, and creating complex tactical formations that would be impossible for traditional military structures. Embedded data suggested these ships were part of a much larger contingency plan. If human civilization faced an overwhelming threat, this fleet could potentially become an autonomous defensive network capable of protecting human interests even if the primary civilization was destroyed. Psychological warfare was built into every aspect of the design. The ships looked old, damaged, and technologically primitive. But hidden beneath this exterior was a technological marvel that could potentially neutralize entire alien armadas in moments. One recovered tactical log particularly stood out. Our greatest weapon is not our technology, but the perception of our weakness. The research team realized they were looking at more than just a military strategy. This was a comprehensive survival protocol that reflected the deepest human survival instincts. When faced with existential threats, humanity had chosen innovation over traditional confrontation. As alien research institutions began analyzing the initial findings, a sense of profound unease spread across multiple civilizations. The discovery challenged everything known about human technological capabilities. Professor Karen summarized the findings during a galactic research conference. "What we've discovered is not just a fleet," she explained. "It's a testament to human adaptability, strategic thinking, and an unprecedented capacity for technological innovation." The ancient fleet continued to hold its secrets, a silent guardian of a remarkable story of survival and strategic genius. Each technological component told a story of a species that refused to be conquered, that turned potential extinction into an opportunity for unprecedented advancement. "We've only scratched the surface," Dr. Roberts said, looking at the holographic representations of the fleet. The universe was about to learn that humanity's true strength lay not in raw power, but in its ability to transform perceived weakness into an unimaginable strategic advantage. The news of the human fleet's discovery spread across the galactic communication networks with unprecedented speed. What had begun as a simple archaeological finding was now transforming into a cosmic revelation that would reshape interstellar perceptions forever. Alien research institutions and governmental bodies received the initial reports with a mixture of shock, disbelief, and growing terror. The carefully constructed narrative of human technological inferiority was crumbling before their eyes. On the Zorn Collective's primary communication hub, senior researchers debated the implications. Holographic displays showed detailed analyses of the human fleet, each revelation more disturbing than the last. Species that had long mocked humanity's seemingly primitive technological capabilities now found themselves questioning everything they thought they knew. "They built this," one senior Zorn researcher muttered, his tentacles trembling with a mixture of fear and reluctant admiration, "right under our collective observations." The psychological impact was immediate and profound. Civilizations that had previously considered humans as nothing more than a minor, technologically backward species now faced a terrifying new reality. The fleet wasn't just a technological marvel. It was a strategic masterpiece that challenged the very foundations of interstellar power dynamics. Multiple alien communication channels buzzed with speculation. How many more such fleets might exist? What other technologies had humans deliberately hidden? The uncertainty became a weapon more powerful than any physical weapon system. Research teams across different star systems began re-examining historical encounters with humans. What had seemed like technological limitations now appeared to be deliberate strategic choices. Every past interaction was now viewed through a lens of profound suspicion and respect. The Quantum Research Council of the Aryan Confederacy called an emergency session. Holographic projections showed the intricate details of the human fleet, with each technological component dissected and analyzed. The level of strategic thinking revealed was beyond anything they had ever encountered. They didn't just build a fleet, one lead researcher declared. They created a psychological warfare system that makes our most advanced strategic protocols look like children's games. News networks across multiple star systems began broadcasting the discovery. Visual reconstructions showed how these seemingly primitive ships could potentially neutralize entire alien armadas. The narrative of human technological weakness was being systematically dismantled. Cultural perceptions shifted dramatically. Species that had long considered humans as easy conquest targets now faced the terrifying realization that they might have been the ones being manipulated all along. The most profound impact was psychological. The discovery challenged fundamental beliefs about technological development, strategic thinking, and the nature of interstellar conflict. Humans had demonstrated a level of strategic genius that transcended traditional military thinking. On Earth, the research team became overnight scientific celebrities. Dr. Roberts and Professor Karen found themselves at the center of a cosmic revelation that would be remembered for generations. Their careful archaeological work had uncovered a hidden chapter of human history that would redefine humanity's place in the universe. Diplomatic channels across the galaxy began reassessing existing treaties and potential conflict scenarios. The human fleet's discovery meant that every previous understanding of human capabilities needed to be completely reevaluated. "We underestimated them," became a common refrain across multiple alien research institutions. The psychological warfare inherent in the fleet's design became its most powerful weapon. By appearing weak, humans had created a strategy of perpetual uncertainty that was more effective than any physical defensive system. As debates raged and analyses continued, one thing became crystal clear. Humanity was far more complex, far more innovative, and far more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. The ancient fleet, once a hidden secret, was now a cosmic statement. It spoke of a species that could turn perceived weakness into the most powerful strategic advantage imaginable. They didn't just survive, Professor Karen told her stunned research team. They transformed the very nature of survival itself. The universe watched, waited, and wondered what other secrets humanity might be hiding. The discovery of the fleet was more than a technological revelation. It was a fundamental reshaping of cosmic understanding. The revelation of the ancient human fleet sent shockwaves through galactic civilization that would resonate for generations. What had begun as a simple archaeological discovery had transformed into a fundamental reimagining of humanity's technological potential. Dr. Roberts and Professor Karen found themselves at the center of a cosmic storm. Their research had become more than an academic pursuit. It was now a pivotal moment in interstellar understanding. Scientific conferences, diplomatic meetings, and research institutions across multiple star systems sought their insights. Hints embedded within the fleet's data suggested something even more profound. This wasn't an isolated technological achievement, but potentially part of a much larger, more complex strategic framework. Encrypted fragments hinted at multiple such fleets, potentially hidden in various star systems, waiting silently like cosmic predators. "We've only scratched the surface," Roberts told a packed galactic research symposium. The implications were staggering. Each technological marvel they uncovered suggested that humanity's technological capabilities were far beyond what anyone had imagined. The most intriguing discovery came from a series of deeply encrypted data clusters. These suggested that the fleet was part of a comprehensive long-term strategy, a contingency plan that stretched across decades, perhaps even centuries. Humanity had been playing a game of cosmic chess, thinking generations ahead of its potential competitors. Alien civilizations that had long considered humans as a minor, technologically inferior species now found themselves reassessing every previous interaction. The psychological impact was devastating. What other technologies might humans be deliberately hiding? Research teams began combing through historical records, looking for additional hints of similar strategic deployments. Each new analysis revealed layers of complexity that challenged existing understanding of human technological development. The Quantum Research Council developed entire new branches of study focused on understanding human strategic thinking. What had appeared to be technological limitations were now recognized as deliberate, sophisticated strategic choices. One recovered log entry became particularly famous across multiple civilizations. "Our strength lies not in what we show, but in what we choose to hide." The fleet's discovery had transformed humanity's cosmic reputation overnight. From a species considered technologically primitive, humans were now viewed as potentially the most dangerous and innovative civilization in known space. Diplomatic channels across multiple star systems began reassessing existing treaties and potential conflict scenarios. The uncertainty became a weapon more powerful than any physical technology. Professor Karen's final report to the Galactic Research Consortium captured the essence of the discovery. Humanity's true technological capability is not measured by what is visible, but by what remains deliberately concealed. The most profound impact was psychological. Alien civilizations that had previously considered humans as potential conquest targets now found themselves in a state of perpetual uncertainty. Every historical interaction was now viewed through a lens of potential strategic manipulation. Embedded within the fleet's data were tantalizing hints of even more advanced technologies, quantum communication systems that could potentially communicate across multiple dimensional planes, energy generation technologies that could potentially harness entire star systems, defensive capabilities that could neutralize entire armadas in moments. They didn't just build a fleet. One alien researcher noted, they created an entire philosophy of technological warfare. The legacy of the ancient fleet extended far beyond its immediate technological marvel. It had fundamentally reshaped understanding of strategic innovation, technological development, and the nature of survival itself. As research continued, one thing became increasingly clear: humanity's true potential remained a mystery. The fleet was not an endpoint, but a glimpse into a much larger, more complex story of cosmic innovation. Dr. Roberts, reflecting on their discovery, offered a simple but profound observation. "We've learned that humanity's greatest strength is its capacity to transform perceived weakness into unprecedented strategic advantage." The universe watched, waited, and wondered what other secrets humanity might be hiding. The ancient fleet stood as a silent testament to a species that had mastered the art of strategic surprise, a civilization that could turn the very concept of technological limitation into its most powerful weapon. The discovery was more than a technological revelation. It was a cosmic statement about the unpredictable, innovative spirit of humanity, a species that could reshape the very understanding of survival and strategic thinking.